The Aaron's 312 on Fox is brought to you by Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Let Aaron's drive your dreams home today. By Smirnoff Ice, Intelligent Nightlife. By 1010-220, dial it and all calls up to 20 minutes or 99 cents. And by KFC. There's fast food, then there's KFC.
They refired engines at Talladega. At least 15 cars have answered the call for the restart after a 27-car pileup. Did you know the driver's window opening on a NASCAR race car are covered by a web of plastic material to help keep the drivers contained in the car during a crash? Jeff Hammond has more.
Mike, in case of an event of a crash, the window net has become probably one of the most synonymous deals in racing. A lot of times you hear guys say about, look, when the driver's okay after an accident, he lets this window net down. Not only does it keep the air out of the car to help as far as aerodynamics, it keeps your arms from getting outside the car in the event of a crash. Very strong. NASCAR's got this thing where, man, you can pull on it, you can twist on it, but it will not allow somebody to get their hands or their head outside the car in the event of an accident. But when the net has to come down, they can reach up here with a quick release switch, drop the window net, climb out in a hurry in case the car is on fire. Also make it easier for the car to get in and out of the race car. One other secondary net is here. Also, in case your head of this net does get ripped out, to catch your head. Also, it sets this headrest to keep it from getting pushed out. Also, in the event of an accident, car gets upside down or hit really hard. These window nets today have done a lot to save a lot of these drivers from a lot of injuries. Mike?
First window nets were woven cloth, Jeff. Now they're made of a seatbelt type material, plastic. Getting set for a restart here in Talladega. We'll come back in a moment. Kenny Wallace will lead the field down for the restart. Stacy Compton in second. Jason Keller, Tim Fewa, Hank Parker Jr. the top five. Chad Chaffin was running at the tail end of the lead lap. That's how he missed that wreck. C.W. Smith, Kevin Grubb, Andy Kirby, Casey Mears, Jeff Purvis, Todd Bodine, Jimmy Kitchens, Larry Foyt, and Larry Gunselman, and Jack Sprague. Actually, Sprague now is off the racetrack, although he did make it around on the caution flag.
Yeah, he had a lot of rear damage to his car. He had to take it to the garage.
For the most part, all these leaders 20 laps into this race, they did make a pit stop. Wise move. This definitely puts you where you make it on one stop. And, you know, check your tires. A lot of debris over there that you could have run over with the tires that were on your car.
A 40-minute red flag for a crash that began when Kenny Wallace moved up track in front of Scott Riggs, and Shane Meal got into the back of Riggs. Steve Burns with another driver who got caught up in the big one.
And Mike, that's Bobby Hamilton Jr. Bobby, they're putting a brand new radiator in the 25 car. Can you get back out?
Yeah, we're going to get back out. Might as well. There's only 12 cars. I mean, at least you can get top 20. Standard points Marine Force class. We didn't get a chance to show it. We got thrown in the back and then had too much tape on the radiator, so we had to ride high the whole time. And I got stopped and got hit in the back. But that's what you get when you come here. But we'll go to California and try to pick up where we left off in Nashville.
All right, thanks, Bobby. Let's go to Dick Berger.
22 people from Richard Childress Organization right now working on Jay Sauter's car. Biggest project, pull the rear frame rails up. They are too low. They're into the rear end of the car. Crew Chief Butch Hilton just told me they intend to get this car back in the race, but not to run one lap. They intend to finish the race. That would be a miracle. This thing is absolutely torn up front to back. Mike?
Dick, they've got a lot of time. 20 laps complete out of 117. And even if they can run 2 or 3 laps, they could move up 10, maybe 15 positions.
And you saw those guys with Richard Childress, the 21 car. They actually had a frame machine there. That's something we started bringing about 3 or 4 years ago. We put it in the garage. It's about the only way you can get these tail sections up off the ground. And you see there's a frame machine, hydraulic. It's the only way you can get those frames to move. You're not going to move it without something like that frame machine. And, you know, the thing that these guys are faced with, Darrell, even though they only have to run 7 seconds slower than they were running when they were racing, is you still have to have 55, 60 degrees of spoil on these cars. And these things are have to be so aerodynamic here, you almost have to have the whole front end. And what we'll probably see as some of these cars repaired, they will actually get in little groups trying to maintain that speed.
Yeah, I'm really not a big fan of period out at Talladega, particularly in Daytona, putting those cars back out there without a full body on them. They should have fenders, and, you know, they should at least have some looked like some kind of race car anyway, not a modified.
Kenny Wallace under pressure for the lead. Stacy Compton and Jason Keller, a 3-car breakaway at the front of the remains of the field. 15 cars are running. Quite a number being worked on in the garage, hoping to return to the race. That's Keller in the 57, 59 is Compton, and Wallace out front.
You know, you look at Kenny Wallace, the 48 car. This is not the car that he drove at Daytona. But what happened, his car did not run very good at Daytona. His teammate, Shane Mill, ran 5th. The cars were built by different people. Kenny Wallace said, look, we need to build a car like Shane Mill. They had bought that car for Shane. They had to investigate who put the body on it. They found out a boy by the name of Randy Myers put the body on it. They found him, had him put a body on this new race car for Kenny for Talladega.
And right now, those first 3 are just sitting there thinking, I just hope my car will run 300 miles. Nothing happens to it, because basically the race is going to be between these 3 guys right here. You can see they've kind of run off and left everybody else behind. So it's going to be settled between 3 cars, actually.
Yeah, here's Tim Fedowa in the white car. And that was a backup Mike Wallace car that was trotted out for this race. And Hank Parker Jr. Here's the next pack, Jeff Purvis, and a lead change, Compton.
Kenny Wallace up to the high side in the 48 car. Jason Keller in the 57. He's going to take over the 2nd position. These guys, they just need to stay in line. And the more they stay in line, the more they'll pull away from Tim Fedowa in that group.
Well, Compton actually is the reason why that the 57 car wasn't in the wreck to start with, because he pulled him around on the outside. They got out front just in time because that wreck happened behind them.
Matt Yoakum.
And Mike, right before that caution, they told Stacy Compton he was clear, but he says, I'm not going to pull down to the inside lane until the 57 of Jason Keller is clear. He helped me get out front. I'm not going to hang him out now.
And like I said, he did. They pushed each other to the front. They missed the big wreck, and now they're going to work together, just the 2 of them. I think it just shows what kind of guy Stacy Compton is.
Now, Kevin Grubb, who was the car that got into the back of Shane Meal, may have sustained some radiator damage. He is now in the pits, and there's a lot of steam there coming out the overflow.
You see the water blowing up there in front of the right side of the windshield. That's where the overflow tube from the radiator. The reason they put it there, the driver will be the first to see, maybe if it's running hot, spitting water out right there out of that tube.
That leaves 14 cars on the racetrack. Hank Parker Jr. has passed Tim Fedowa for 4th. They are still drafting nose to tail, trying to run down the lead trio of Compton, Keller, and Wallace. There's Parker and Fedowa.
We saw Hank Parker kind of drive up into the wreck. Saw his windshield get all covered up with oil. He couldn't see anything. Drove up into the wreck, stopped, didn't get hit, backed up, went around everything. Now he's running 4th.
Something we've not documented. This is a Dodge. This is the first year for Dodge in the Busch Series. Hank Parker Jr. and his teammate Casey Mears, who also made it through the wreck. So both Dodges are still out there running.
Well, you might say they dodged the wreck.
They dodged the wreck.
Well,
they dodged the big one.
You might say that. Most DNFs in one race, 25 here, 1998. 28 cars are presently either off track under repair or withdrawn from the race. Busch Series record for DNFs, 26 at Charlotte in October 1987. Let's not break that one today. We'll be right back.